I am a C4 to 5 incomplete quadriplegic, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that don't fully understand what that means. So in this week's video, I'm going to be telling you 5 things that you might not know about a person with a spinal cord injury. Most of this stuff is the same with other people with a spinal cord injury, but there are a few things that are specifically just about me and my feeling and function after my injury. I have a lot of trouble regulating my body temperature. And even though I can feel and move my legs, I have a lot of trouble feeling the difference between hot and cold. So if something feels hot, it might feel cold. If something is cold, it might feel hot. Also, if it is extremely hot, I have trouble cooling down. And if it's very cold, I have a lot of trouble warming back up again. And it's generally like that with the lack of circulation after a spinal cord injury. And I can't speak for everybody else, but that's definitely the way it is for me. I also get chilblains in my toes. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's disgusting, it hurts, and yeah. And this brings me into number 2, which is blood pressure. After a spinal cord injury, you're more prone to get what is called autonomic dysreflexia, which is about your blood pressure. So my blood pressure is generally at 110/80, but if my blood pressure goes too high or drops too low for too long, it can cause a heart attack, a stroke, or in serious cases, death. Thankfully, I know how to lower my blood pressure. I know what it feels like to have high blood pressure, and I know how to bring it down myself. But there are also other medications that I take to prevent it, and also when my blood pressure does go too high, I do have something that will bring it back down. What can cause autonomic dysreflexia can be something as simple as I might have my pants twisted, I might have a pressure sore in my foot or my back, my bum, somewhere that I don't know about, and that can cause my blood pressure to go high and cause dysreflexia. And this brings me into number 3, my bladder and bowel care. After a spinal cord injury, your bowels don't work like they used to. So now I have to use suppositories to go to the toilet for my bowels, and for my bladder, I have a catheter. Now, what I said about blood pressure and the risk of getting dysreflexia, if my catheter was kinked or blocked, that can cause my blood pressure to go extremely high. But thankfully, I can feel if it's kinked, I can feel if it's blocked, I can feel if I have a kink in my pants, I can feel these things. But not everybody has the luxury to be able to feel it. And now we get into number 4, which is breathing problems. Now, my injury was on the C4 to 5 vertebrae. From there down to the rest of my body, I would have limited to no sensation or movement. But thankfully I do. But I also have trouble breathing. And if my injury was a complete, I would either need a ventilator to breathe, or I would just have a lot of trouble breathing, a lot more than I do now. Thankfully, I can breathe perfectly fine, but I do have trouble every now and then. When I'm sleeping, sometimes I stop breathing in my sleep. And that is pretty terrifying when I wake up short of breath, and the feeling when you fall asleep and you sort of tumble over, or you fall down the stairs, or you're walking down the stairs and you don't know there's an extra step. That feeling of panic, that's what it's like to wake up not breathing. So I have an asthma puffer just by my bed. That's just in case. So if I'm having trouble getting to sleep or just having trouble breathing, I will take a hit of the puffer, and that usually settles things down for me. And now we get into number 5, which is pain. A lot of people with a spinal cord injury, generally with paraplegics, they will get this a lot more than quadriplegics, which is phantom pain. But I can't speak for them because I'm not a paraplegic and I don't know that much about this. But with me, Generally, I will get a lot of phantom pain, but a lot of the times it is actual physical pain, not phantom pain. But the main thing that I get with phantom pain is a headache. I have a headache 24/7 because of my brain injury, but right now, I have no idea. I don't know if my head hurts because it's been almost 9 years since my accident. So I have gotten extremely good at just blocking it out. So I have no idea if I have a headache right now because I can't feel it, because I've gotten so used to ignoring it. But when I do start to get a headache, when I can physically feel it, then I know that it's real. But other times it's not. It's not real, it's just phantom pain in my head. I also have sore feet pretty much all the time. If you're working and you're on your feet for say like 12 hours at a time or 8 hours at a time or something, and you get sore feet. I still remember what it was like before my accident when I was working as a checkout chick and I was standing for a long period of time and my feet would start to ache. It is the same for me now because I am sitting all the time, because my feet are always on something. I am also extremely sensitive. So my feet hurt all the time, but I am very much aware of my toes, how my toes feel. I can feel if there is a little bit of fluff in my toes, which can get really, really annoying. And also I get a sore bum all the time because I'm sitting down all the time. So I'm in bed, that's a relief. But during the day, I do get a bit of a numb bum sitting down all the time. So how I fix that issue is just move around a little bit. Just push some pressure, take some pressure off my bum. And because my injury is not a complete injury, I can do that. I can move around a lot. I can feel if my bum starts to hurt. And I'm very, very grateful and very lucky that I can feel my legs and I can feel my bum. Because if my injury was a complete injury and I couldn't feel any of this, I would have a higher risk of getting pressure sores. I hope this video has been enlightening and maybe helpful in some way. And if it was a little bit vague, I apologize, but please write any questions in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them for you. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all and I will see you next week.